What's up, everybody? Geekopedia here. Welcome back for another video today. And right now, I have for you my thoughts on the new series, Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. It is the newest installment in the MonsterVerse, which is a cinematic universe created by Legendary Studios and is based around Godzilla, King Kong, King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, and all those super cool kaiju characters that came out from Japan. So, before we get into it though, I need you to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, or else Godzilla is gonna come to your house, and he's gonna atomic breath you to the next life. You don't want that. His atomic breath is blue fire. Blue fire is one of the hottest fires in the universe, so take my word for it, you don't want to die that way. So, if you know what's good for you, hit the like button right now. Did you do it? Good job. I knew I could count on you. Alrighty, so, like I said, this is part of the MonsterVerse, which, to be honest with you, other than the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MonsterVerse has to be my second favorite cinematic universe. Mostly because, just like the MCU, the MonsterVerse took its time and developed slowly. Whereas other cinematic universes like the DC Extended Universe, all of Sony's attempts to make a Spider-Man universe, the Dark Universe, which was supposed to have the Mummy, Dracula, and Frankenstein, they all tried to do way too much, way too fast. Which completely went against what Marvel did, was take it slow. And that's what the MonsterVerse is doing as well. Heck, next year is the MonsterVerse's 10th anniversary, and there's only been 4 films released at the time of this video. Talk about taking it slow, right? So the Monarch series is technically the second series in the MonsterVerse, the first one being the Netflix anime series Skull Island, which, I'm gonna be real with you, that's the only MonsterVerse, thing that I haven't watched yet, only because I don't really know if it's supposed to be, canon or not to the MonsterVerse, so, I'll probably watch it eventually. I know definitely for a fact Monarch is canon, especially to, the other films. So, yeah, let's get into it. We only have 2 episodes so far. New episodes come out on Apple TV Plus every Wednesday, so, with this, the series follows 2 storylines at the same time. One storyline is set in, the 50s, and takes place before the events of Kong Skull Island, which before Monarch was the earliest film in the timeline. And, of course, that storyline follows Monarch kind of, first getting started, building up to what Monarch is in the present day. Then the second storyline is pretty much, it takes place a year after the events of Godzilla 2014, which was the first installment in the MonsterVerse. So they take place in 2 different time periods, but they kind of follow the same, idea. They're building up on how the world is finally realizing that these titans, like Godzilla, Ghidorah, Rodan, the Mutos, King Kong, they're finally realizing that all these creatures exist, and they're finally starting to come to terms with that fact. Because between Godzilla 2014 and its sequel, Godzilla King of the Monsters, there was a huge 9 or 10 year time skip almost. So, people had time to adjust at that point. But here, we really get a first-hand account on how people's worlds are effectively being turned upside down with the knowledge that these giants exist. So, with that said, we, of course, follow new human characters, which, I'm gonna be real with you, I know not just the MonsterVerse movies, but almost every monster movie out there, one of the main criticisms is always that, the humans are so, uninteresting, which I'll admit, I'm not gonna argue with that, okay? The majority of human characters in the MonsterVerse suck, okay? But not in this one. The human characters are actually pretty interesting and really likable, and I really had a lot of fun following them. In the present-day storyline, we have this girl named Kate, who goes to Tokyo to collect stuff from her late father, only to learn that her father was having an affair with her mother, and that birds her half-brother, Kentaro. And Kentaro and Kate, they effectively learn that their dad was not who he seemed, and he was tied some way to Monarch. Then, of course, we learn that they are the grandchildren of Bill Randa, who was played by John Goodman in Kong Skull Island. So that's the connection to Kong Skull Island with this series, and of course with Godzilla 2014. It's all coming together, okay? This is how greatly interconnected the MonsterVerse has become at this point. Then, of course, the past storyline follows Bill Randa, who was played by John Goodman in Skull Island, but here he's played by another actor because this is him at a younger age, meaning his wife, who I can't remember her name, please forgive me, as they kind of like, as Monarch is effectively first starting, in a way. So the past storyline is supposed to give us more insight to the future storyline that's also going on. And there's one character who's consistent in both, this guy named Lee. He's a member of the U.S. Army, and interestingly, he's played by a father-son duo. So in the past storyline, he's played by Wyatt Russell, whereas in the future storyline, he's played by Wyatt Russell's father, Kurt Russell. So I thought that was really cool. Lee is probably my personal favorite out of these, just because with the acting, with the casting, with the father and son, and based on like how he's kind of like an outsider. This feels like almost like a culmination of the storylines between Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla 2 King of the Monsters. Whereas in 2014, you had these characters who were on the outside, normal, average, everyday civilians reacting to what's going on. Then you had King of the Monsters with the scientists and the, like, Titan researchers that are tasked to hunt and learn more about these creatures. So, and in Monarch, you have both of those type of characters. So I thought that was really cool how they're kind of like mixing them both together. So to be honest, I don't have a lot to say because there's only 2 episodes so far. There's going to be a total of 10 episodes, I think, so I probably won't do another review for the series until it's done. So after the last episode is aired, I'll probably do another review talking about it. So with that said, I'm loving this series so far. I'm so happy the MonsterVerse is continuing. After Godzilla vs. Kong was released, we didn't know if there was going to be more MonsterVerse content. And now here we are. The hashtag continue the MonsterVerse worked, and we've got more, because Godzilla vs. Kong 2 comes out next year. So I cannot wait to see where this franchise goes next. Remember, like the video if you liked it. This has been Geekopedia. Remember, God loves you and I love you too, and I'll see you guys next time.